Hi, it's Trisha Johnston, residential realtor with Ladder & Bloom with your real estate tip of the week. Moving can be so exciting, but it can also be very stressful. Here are 4 things you can do to help make your next move stress-free. First, start packing early. As soon as you know you're going to move, start packing those things that are out of season or that you don't use on a daily basis. Pack what you want to take with you and donate the rest. Second, create a system. I like the color code and number system. With that, every box gets a color sticker based on which room it goes in and a number based on the priority of unpacking. Third, put together a cleaning kit that doesn't get packed. Include basic cleaning supplies so you can clean the place you're leaving once it's empty and clean your new place as soon as you get there. And fourth, don't pack valuables, firearms, medicine, or private documents. Keep those things with you. I hope this helps make your next move stress-free. I'm Trisha Johnston with Ladder & Bloom, and I'll be back here next week with another real estate tip for you.
Do you need cash? Do you want to consolidate debt? Premier Credit can help. They provide quick and confidential loans for any reason. Their service is same day and most loans are approved within minutes. You can apply in person or by the phone. Their experienced and knowledgeable loan professionals will leave you feeling confident that your loan is being properly handled in a secure manner. Premier Credit can be reached at 225-667-8100, or you can email WeSayYes@premiercredit.com, or stop by and spin the wheel at 139 Del Norte Avenue in Denham Springs. They're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and are a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. Women's boutiques are big business, very big business. In the past 5 years, this industry has grown to an $18 billion industry. So it's big, nationwide. The appeal to me is that my audience, the vast majority of them are small business owners, just like you guys. So we're going to talk about your plunge into your business, JM Boutique, all the struggles maybe that you had at the beginning, how you overcame them, and all that good stuff. So Kyle, Megan, JM Boutique, welcome to Local Leaders.
Thanks for having us.
So you are co-owner and you are co-owner, but y'all are also married.
Correct. Yep.
All right. How long you been married?
7 years this November. Right?
I might have put him on the spot a little bit. He's like
8 years this November.
There you go.
8 years.
Look,
yeah, we are.
It doesn't seem like that, does it? It's so great.
Seems like just the other day.
There you go. That's how you get out of that one. We're excited to learn all about your business. Your business located in Denham Springs, and y'all are local folks. Y'all went to high school here. Well, actually in Walker, right?
We did. Okay. I graduated from Walker. Kyle graduated Live Oak.
Yep.
Live Oak. Awesome. So y'all are LP folks.
We are.
Through and through. And have an interesting story there, and we want to get into all that. Kyle, you're an identical twin?
I am.
Okay. Yep. That's interesting. I have twin daughters, identical. Okay. They're 15, and that's why I have no hair anymore. They're a mess, but good kids. But how is it to grow up a twin?
It was interesting. It was we always had fun.
Mm-hmm. Instant playmate all the time growing up.
Oh yeah, that was probably the best thing about growing up.
Yeah,
having just a best friend and playmate all the time.
Yeah,
I'll probably be lying if I told you we were angels the whole time, the perfect kids for my parents.
Right.
But no, it was fun. We enjoyed messing with people too.
Very good.
Being identical.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's a different world when you're twins, and I'm not a twin, but I have a lot of twins in my family, and I enjoy the fact that I had children that kind of had instant playmates there all the time. That's always a good thing. Now, you were not a twin.
I'm not.
There's only one of you.
Yes. I don't know if my parents could have handled it if I was a twin.
I hear you. I hear you. So, Megan, you grew up did you grow up in Walker also and went to Walker High School? Or?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I mean, I've been here for years, yes.
Yeah, okay. And you went to cosmetology school?
I did.
Okay, tell me about that.
I went to college.
Yeah.
It's been a long road deciding what I wanted to do. And I've always known, I wanted to own and run a boutique. But you think you have to do something. I feel like society, family, everybody makes you feel like you have to do this one certain thing.
Yes.
So you're in high school and you're like, I need to be this. I need to go to college. I have to do this one thing.
Right.
So I left, went to college. So we started nursing. Wasn't for me. Changed it. I knew in my heart still somewhere in there, business was the core. So we did business major, changed it to marketing major. I changed majors more than I changed my outfits.
Wow.
So my dad finally told me, he's like, I'm not paying for you to be a professional student. You need to make a decision. And so I couldn't. Something was still eating at me that I just couldn't figure out what it was. And I've always been inspired by the industry of beauty. Mm-hmm. So my mom had told me years and years ago, hair and makeup, you're always good at it. Friends had always said it. And there it went. I was like, okay, let's do cosmetology. And so cosmetology school I went. I finished with general studies, dove into cosmetology.
Yeah.
So
from humble beginnings in 1989, Big Mike's has long been a place for friends and family to gather for lunch, dinner, and drinks. Big Mike, Jocelyn, and their friendly staff invite you to come in and relax in one of their spacious dining areas, or watch a game on one of the big screen TVs. Big Mike's is a place to meet old friends or make new ones. Big Mike's offers daily and nightly specials, and they specialize in serving up delicious and fresh menu items. Big Mike's offers a catering menu for large groups and has private party rooms for up to 100 guests. Whether you're planning a quick lunch or a large family dinner, or just a night out with friends, Big Mike welcomes you to experience a great time. And don't forget to grab some t-shirts, caps, or koozies in the gift shop. Oh, or a bottle of Big Mike's Honey Dijon. It's delicious. Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. We're kind of a big deal.
cosmetology it was.
Yeah.
And I finished cosmetology, and it all seemed to work out. Going into cosmetology, I met the right people to lead me on the road that I am today, and having that business background and taking the business classes and doing everything I did in college led me to today.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how things do work out. But yes, cosmetology, and I was in the industry for 6 years.
Yeah, awesome. And it's interesting. I want to back up on what you said, because I think it's a huge point, is that sometimes when high school age people, for example, they get out of high school and it's like, go to college. And look, college is great for some people.
Yeah.
Some people aren't made for college.
Right.
Maybe they want to do a trade. You know, you can make big money being an electrician or a plumber and so you know, it seemed to me, just hearing what you said, that it was you kind of had that business owner spirit early on, and that's something that I can relate to, and I know a lot of other people can relate to as well. And that's that business is something that you kind of pick up early in life, and if you don't seek that out, it'll gnaw at you.
Yes,
and it's like,
it does.
it's like a fish out of water when you're doing something you don't want to do or that
Yeah.
you don't feel comfortable with necessarily. So good for you. So cosmetology took off and you were doing well with that. You were in it 6 years or
6
so?
years.
Okay. And then at some point, you basically had a discussion, I would imagine, or y'all both had a discussion where it was like, I need to maybe pursue clothing and women's clothing in particular and open a boutique. How did that go?
It was always a discussion. You know
Yeah.
how you just always talk about something and you just never do it? It's just something you have a passion about, but you won't jump. You just want to do it,
Yeah.
but you won't take that leap.
Absolutely.
We would just talk about it. I loved to shop. I loved to style my friends. I just have a love and a passion for it. And he was always pushing me. He's like, let's do this. You can do this. And I just had that fear and I was scared. I truly was. And I'm like, what if I don't make it? And he's like, what if you do? He's like, you can do it. And it was years. And I was still right out of cosmetology school. He's like, let's just do it. And I still would just wait and I wasn't ready and we would pray about it. And I still just couldn't get to where I needed to be to just say, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And finally, I mean, it really just took time for me and prayer to say, I'm ready. And it's funny. I say it's funny, but it's just the way things work to what got me to this point. He pushed and pushed, but like I said, you know, how my road worked out, I got into cosmetology. I did the college, and then I went to cosmetology school. I was 6 years in the industry. I was at Salon de Rev. It was just perfect the way everything worked out. When we moved locations to where we are now on Highway 16, I'm still next to Salon de Rev.
Yeah.
JM is right next door.
Yeah.
I was in Salon de Rev, and the unit next door was open. It was vacant when we moved.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, there's a vacant
Very
spot
good.
next door.
Yeah.
And because it was always talked about, we would, you know, talk to Jen. We're like, hey, you know, we might want to put some clothes in Salon de Rev when we were at our original location. And I just would never do it. And so he saw the opportunity when we moved to the new location. He's like, Megan, you can do this. He just kept pushing. And it just worked out. We met the owner, and he was amazing. And he looked me dead in the face and was like, I believe in you. You know, you can do this. And it gives you chills when you hear that many people God is putting in front of you, telling you it's your time. And when he puts a plan in motion, you're not going to stop it.
Amen.
So he put this plan in motion, and it was time. And he was done with me saying no.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, and you know, Kyle, you deserve a lot of credit there as a man too, because you were supporting that. And so many times you know, negativity is something I don't have a whole lot of patience for. And so many times people in life get around others that may be negative and less supportive, and even spouses in a lot of cases, unfortunately. But you were the one basically sitting there saying, you can do it. You need to do it. Look, there's a building available.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like the angel on your shoulder there,
Yes.
because sometimes if you don't have that push, I know exactly what you mean when you say, you know, it was that jump.
yep.
Because sometimes people can be a victim of their own success. I see it all the time where people are successful at something, but maybe they want to own their own thing and they're working for somebody else, but they're making so much money that it's a situation that they can't get out of almost. They feel like that because, you know, I've got to make this much money just to break even
Yeah.
owning my own business. And so they never do it.
Right.
But if you have people there supporting you like your husband did, that is a lot of incentive to go out there. And so good job, brother. You did good.
I had faith in her. She was good.
Yeah. And obviously the right decision. Now, interesting side note to all this. So Casey, my executive producer, was telling me that the final decision was made to sign the lease just a few hours before you had your second child?
That's right.
Wow, threw you right into labor.
I mean, when I tell you we took a plunge, we jumped in.
Yeah.
We did
it. 100%.
Jim, we're swamped with these podcasts, and I'm in the mood for some local barbecue for lunch.
Barbecue. Casey, the problem with barbecue is the speed. That would take forever.
Not at Buddy's Barbecue. With the drive-through line, they can get us fed fast, and that sauce, yum.
It is right in the heart of Denham Springs. Do they have specials?
Yes, they have plate lunch specials every day, Jim. And I bet you didn't know they offer some of the best catfish plates you've ever tasted on Fridays. And on Saturdays, they have smoked ribeyes. They are as flavorful as you can find anywhere.
Okay, I'm hungry. What's the number? I'll call it in.
No, just go online and place your order. By the time you're finished, I can head that way.
That is convenient and really smart.
Yep, just like me.
A local business, and you know what I always say.
Oh, yes. Jim Chapman loves local.
Correct. And that makes me smart.
Oh, please. If you're in the mood for barbecue, go see Buddy's Barbecue at 105 Florida Avenue Southeast, right in the heart of Denham Springs. They're a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast.
So you sign that lease. You're a mother for the second time, and you move into your new building. It had about 900 square feet. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So how was that first few months? Now, I'm imagining you're nervous and you're thinking, oh, gosh, is it going to be tumbleweeds in here and clothes falling off the rack? What?
Well, we had about 3 months to prepare.
Yeah.
So once we signed an agreement, our landlord kind of said, you got 3 months before your first lease is due. So we had those months to prepare, and we went to market, and she started ordering clothes and preparing the store, and that was the crazy part. We went to market. Oh, man, I about had a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you say went to market, what is that terminology? What does that mean exactly?
Dallas. That's where.
Okay.
So we went to Dallas. They have markets all over in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
And some other places. But Dallas market, that's where all the clothing reps and the vendors.
Yeah.
Where we buy clothes from.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah.
I think they do it, once a quarter, I think.
Yeah, there's several, yep.
So.
Okay, almost like buying shows.
Yeah, you go meet your vendors. Now it's great. We've established relationships with some of them, but that first market, it was I wish I could have taken pictures of his face in that first market.
Yeah, I bet. And then it's like, am I buying the right thing?
Right.
I mean, I like this, but is somebody else going to like it?
Exactly.
That's where it's a lot of faith, isn't it?
A lot of faith.
Yeah, I mean, you got to rely on your taste and kind of knowing what's out there and what's hot. And we're going to get into that a little bit because obviously those things change like the wind sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know, they're in and out of there. But so those first few months after you did finally open, how was business? Was it a slow kind of process at the beginning and picked up?
It was like
steady.
It was a whirlwind.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It blew us away.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So we were not prepared. It was unexpected,
Yeah.
to be honest. You know, we worked and prepared and got ready, and, you know, you pray for things like this to take off and this to happen. And I remember our first opening day, we were amazed at the community's outturn. Like, for these people to show up for us like this and to come see JM for the first time, it was so touching.
Yeah.
To feel that support from our community, amazing.
Huge.
Huge.
And I think in Livingston Parish, something that kind of separates us from a lot of areas is the fact that, you know, we support our fellow business owners. And it seems to me, and especially being in this business, that we're very cognizant of supporting local business and doing everything we can to help, you know, especially those that are new businesses like yours. And, hey, you know, you had good taste, and I'm sure that got around too, and people wanted to see what, you know, all your clothing and things like that you had in your boutique and partake in such great taste. So you're moving right along, and now this is your business owner, and this is the first time y'all kind of own this business together. And from a male perspective, I would imagine, Kyle, that can be daunting. I mean, You know, it's one thing to be married to someone. It's another thing to be in business together with your spouse. How's that been?
It's been awesome. I mean, we always see eye to eye. We never really argue about much. So
Yeah.
I support her. She supports whatever I have. And
Excellent.
so we haven't had any issues, surprisingly.
Fantastic.
I didn't think we would. I knew we wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
you
so-
were supportive right from the beginning. And that's a big part of it, because if I would imagine if both parties don't agree, you know, there's going to be a problem one way or the other. And so that's great. And that's something that, so don't ever feel, listeners out there, that you can't go into business with your spouse and get along. These two folks are doing it. At some point you realize we're outgrowing space here.
Yes.
You know, we've got 900 square feet and we need to expand. So you did. Now, that's a good thing in business, because expansion indicates growth. Usually if you're expanding, it's because you're busy, you're selling things, and you need more space to display more goods.
Right.
So you went from 900 square feet to
It was
roughly.
So each unit was about 1,200 with a bathroom and a storage area. So that gave us about 850 to 900 square foot of actual retail space.
Right.
So then the later that year, we opened it in 2019. So later that year, the third unit came vacant. So that was
Awesome.
another 1,200 feet. So we debated. She was nervous again.
Yeah.
I'm more of the risk taker, so I'm like,
Do it.
we
Do
gotta
it.
Yeah. If we don't do it, somebody else is gonna rent it. So,
Well, you're right.
so
Yeah.
we talked to the landlord. We asked about knocking walls down to see what he, how he felt about that. Changing his building up. So he was game for it. He's a really awesome guy. He believed in us. So he believed in
Fantastic.
Megan. So he's like, yeah. He said, if y'all ready, he said, we can knock the walls down if y'all want to.
There you go. Yeah. And
So that brought us to about 24, probably 2,000 square feet of retail.
wow,
space.
doubled.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing and great. I mean, that's great growth. Now, another BJ Pawn and Gun in Denham Springs wants to buy your unwanted gold jewelry, gold coins, and gold bullion. With 30 years of experience operating in the Livingston Parish area, BJ Pawn wants to be your source when selling your gold. So stop by BJ Pawn today for a no-obligation offer. BJ Pawn, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. Another indication of growth is staff size.
Yes.
So when you started out, you had a whopping 2 employees,
Two
right?
employees.
Yeah. And where are you at now?
We're at 11.
That's phenomenal.
Yes.
That is phenomenal. That is off the charts, as far as showing a good growth standard there. When you look at a business, one thing you look at is the help and how big your staff is and where it started. 2019 from 2 to right now 11.
11.
That's a lot. Yeah, and that's a good thing. And how important is your staff to your business?
They are so important. I love our girls. They know how much we love them and how important they are to us. We say all the time, the JM fam, but it's a real thing. Like when you become a part of JM, you are family. The employees are the business, Like when our customers come in, they love our girls too. Our big thing there is customer service and how much we love our customers, and our girls love our customers. And when you come in, these girls are helping you day in and day out, especially if I'm not there. And they love the customers just as much as I do. And they want to help, and they want to hear your story about where you're going in this outfit and everything that they need to do to help you.
Yeah.
And it's so important. They keep us going day in and day out. They
It really
are
is.
the hands and feet of this business. They're the working hands.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're making it work. They're awesome. All the way from social media to packing your orders to answering your questions. They're behind the scenes. they're doing it.
Yeah, it's a major thing. I mean, most successful businesses will almost always say that their employees pretty much make them. You know, as a business owner, you can be as knowledgeable and as awesome with clothing and all that, but if you've got an employee in there that is not, you know, positive and makes people feel welcome, it can break you. On the opposite end of that, if you have good girls like what you have, it can make you too.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah, you always want to feel like you're going in somewhere where I always tell people it's like you're going in the barber shop. You want to feel like you're, not that I would know anything about that, but at one time, but you want to feel like when you go in there that these people are your friends and you relate to them. And it sounds like that's the experience they would get at your boutique.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now let's talk about, for a second, we've been talking a little bit about growth. And what really impressed me when I was diving into your business was that you grew at a time when not a lot of people were growing. So COVID reared its ugly head back in March of 2020. And you know, you were a new business pretty much.
6 months.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, March hits, and it kind of take me through what was the thought process there.
You know, your stomach kind of drops when you hear these things.
Sure.
That, you know, you're shutting down, you got to lock the doors.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But then you just stop and you say, what are we going to do? And you get a plan. You say a prayer and you're like, we're going to do this. Let's buckle down and let's figure it out.
Right.
We took to social media. You know, we stuck to the guidelines. I was in there. Just 1 to 2 other people, kept our distance, took orders, took pictures, showed what we had, packed it, shipped it, talked to people on stories, let our customers know we were there. Everybody was locked in their homes.
Right.
You know, what are you doing if you're at home? You're
Right.
on your phone.
Yep.
You're on social media. So we were on stories, you know. Shop on your phone. We're here. Let's ship it to you. Let's deliver it. We offered local delivery. So we were driving around,
Very smart.
dropping it off at their houses, free. If you were in our local area, I was bringing it to your house.
So you basically adapted, is what you did.
That's right.
And you didn't sit there and bury your head in the sand and say, oh, woe is me or whatever. You basically said, we're going to figure out how to make this work with what we got. And wow, delivery is an awesome idea.
It was fun.
And, you know, it's amazing social media, how much could you imagine 15 years ago when they didn't really have, or 20 years ago, no social media to speak of, and something like this happened, and you can't get a message out there.
We're so blessed as businesses today to have social media at our disposal.
Yes, and we're going to get a little bit into that because y'all are some active social media folks, and so we're going to definitely talk about that. Now, you get through all this, and now we want to get into a little bit of JM Boutique and just dive into your flair and your style and all those sorts of things. So, what influencers in fashion do you personally like?
I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, I love, your vintage fashion. Who doesn't love Chanel?
Yeah.
You know, she's such a statement.
Yeah.
The little black dress, the women's suit, the quilted purse, Jackie O, all these people. But fashion is just evolving.
Yes.
You can walk
constantly.
You can walk outside right now and there's going to be a lady standing right there that is just dressed bomb. She looks good.
Yeah.
You can be inspired by, I am inspired by so many things, and fashion is just that. It's not just one thing.
Right.
It's all over the place. You can be inspired, and back to social media, Pinterest, Instagram. You can pick your phone up and just look at the fashion and the people, the bloggers.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere.
It really is. Tiffany Seacard with Homekey Mortgage combines the experience and knowledge you need to make your mortgage loan a smooth, stress-free process. Reach out to Tiffany for more information on the vast mortgage programs available in the Livingston Parish area. Tiffany Seacard of Homekey Mortgage, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. and you can tell that you're very passionate about it. That's awesome. And passion is it's funny, you used that word earlier, and almost every podcast I've done with business owners, that word comes up. I never say it. They always say it. And it's probably something you have to be in your business in order to succeed with it. But you can tell you have a lot of passion for fashion, and I rhymed that, which is pretty impressive. So, fashion is a great thing, but there are always fashion styles that people look at and they're like, oh, I wish that would go away, no matter what it is. So I'm curious, what fashion style are you like, oh no, I don't like that fashion style? Is there one that you were glad to see kind of go?
That's a tough one, because I feel like you could almost spin something to your benefit. Yeah. Like, instead of just pushing it away, I feel like make it look good. Yeah. Like, rock it out.
Well, it's interesting with fashion in that everybody's taste is kind of their taste, and what may look, what's one person may think is just gaudy or something. I don't know, absolutely. Pick a word, but someone else may can just rock it.
I mean, I feel like if anything, we wore out tie-dye last year. But then I'll pull something out tie-dye and I'm like, yes, this is good today.
How about camo? You like?
I can do some camo. I can do camo. Especially you put some Chanel or something on camo, put some designer inspired on it, and let's do it.
Okay. All right. So have you ever considered adding men's fashion to your boutique?
Oh.
Shot her down on that.
No men's fashion?
She's brought it up before, and I'm like, nah, you're just not, guys don't shop like women do.
It's so easy to dress men, anywhere but in a boutique.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be hard to bring a man's fashion into a small area.
Yeah.
Guys are just easy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm actually someone that I do go to, a boutique that sells men's stuff. I got no problem with that. I like style.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
It's funny. I went to a Livingston Parish Chamber of Commerce event last week, and I noticed 3 or 4 guys had shoes on that were they were just dress shoes. Okay, the I don't know what color, the brown dress shoes, but they had white soles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those are freaking awesome. First thing I did when I went home was I started researching it, because I love those shoes, so I'm gonna get some like it. Yeah, but I noticed stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an exception, but I
not at all.
I like style.
No, he kind of shot me down on that.
You get some leather shoes in there with some white soles, and I'm in.
Okay, I'll let you know.
That's it. So, how quickly does fashion change? How often do you see something in and out?
Constant.
Really?
I mean, we get line sheets in from our vendors. And so we're constantly seeing what's coming. And it's crazy how fast things change. So just for instance, everybody's wearing what this season is right now, but we're already seeing what's coming out summer, fall. Like, we're seeing seasons ahead.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is insane. And that's one thing I had to learn.
Right.
When our first few markets, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Was not ready for how fast it was. You go in, you're like, okay, I'm going to shop for summer today. But you're not. You have to be ready. You have to be ready for the next season ahead, or you're going to be left behind.
There's no doubt about it. And, I was many moons ago, one of my first jobs, I worked at Dillard's, and I was in the Ralph Lauren department. So I dealt a lot I learned how to fold clothes like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, all the time. But I'll tell you, a lot of the buyers there, it was, I was friends with them. We'd sit down and talk and stuff. And just what you said, I mean, they're kind of looking seasons ahead. It's not just like what's popular right now. It's what's going to be popular.
Exactly.
So that takes some talent, and it takes some taste and some insight. And I'm sure you do a lot of research.
Yes.
Yeah. Big thing. So now, women like men, and this is something that I think is key to this conversation. Women like men, they come in tons of different shapes and sizes, right? Not everybody's cookie cuttered and all that sort of stuff. And one thing that a lot of women, a perception they may have is, boutiques are just for, skinny girls.
Right.
True or false?
False.
So
100%.
Exactly. And that's something I agree with you. And I would say that if you go to JM Boutique, you have fashion for everybody, right?
We do.
You know how to make everybody look beautiful and
Absolutely.
things like that. So don't just have that assumption, ladies. It is not, boutiques are not just for, size 2s or whatever sizes. Now is the time, more than ever, to support local business. Alisa Verret Interiors and Custom Workroom is working hard to use made in the USA products for all their clients' window coverings. Schedule your appointment today for a consultation on Roman shades, drapes, shutters, outdoor sunshades, and even woven woods. Need a virtual appointment? No problem. Call Alisa at area code 225-955-1135. Alisa Verret Interiors and Custom Workroom, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. Now, what is the most popular fashion style right now? Like hot. Maybe not the most popular, but just hot.
Denim.
Denim's in.
Denim, jewelry, the chains are in. Everybody's styling layers. So layer up,
Yeah.
Unbutton, like a front button shirt, put on something like kind of how I was dressed yesterday. I know you didn't see me yesterday. I'm looking at Kyle. So just like kind of how I have layered pieces on right now. Simple, classic, clean. Your neutrals are still going to be in style. I mean, just clean palettes. And then, of course, coming into spring, your pastels. But, I mean, right now, denim's doing so well.
There you go. Everybody Megan knows her stuff, obviously. So denim, you're good with denim right now. Layer it up.
Layer.
And you'll look great. And I'd imagine all your girls in there, they sure know these trends, and they can totally dress you.
They can. And that's one thing we are known for. People come in and they're like, dress me. They just walk in the door and they say, dress me.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with it.
They don't want to deal with it. And that's what we're here for, is to deal with it.
Period. And you just led me right to my next point. So we're going to get into it here. So we're going to go into social media a little bit.
Okay.
Now, with me standing on the outside looking in, I can tell you that it makes all the difference in the world. Social media, like we talked about earlier. You're very active on social media. And I'll tell you something that we talked before the show. And yes, I have a little bit of style, people. I like shopping.
He looks good.
So one thing that I will bring up that I love about what you do specifically on social media is pairings. Okay. Here's the thing. You can go on her site and you'll see, say, some earrings, and you'll see a blouse, and you'll see a pair of jeans, right? Mm-hmm. And it takes all the guesswork out. And maybe your wife relies on you to kind of buy the clothes, and so you don't even have to think about it. You know that matches. Mm-hmm. You know that it blends. You know that it works. Those are something on social media that I've seen that have really helped, because the concern when you do shop with your wife like I do, the argument becomes that doesn't match. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It doesn't look good. Yes, it does. Back and forth. And so when you can point, let me show you on JM Boutique here.
Yep.
See that? It matches. They wouldn't put it together if it didn't. It kind of takes all the argument out there, right? So because not everybody has the style that you have, and the obviously the education that you have behind you with your boutique. So great job on that. But social media also, it's like your version of a commercial. You can go on there modeling the clothes, right? Mm-hmm. You have ladies that do that.
We do.
And they do little cute little deals, and how valuable has that been?
So valuable.
Casey, have you called the plumber about the sink in the break room?
Yep, they came this morning. I can't believe you missed them.
What was their name again?
Geaux Plumbing.
Wow, that was quick, and they did a great job.
They did. And when you need plumbing services of any type, give Geaux Plumbing a call. With over 50 years combined plumbing experience, the team at Geaux Plumbing can handle all of your plumbing needs. So whether it's residential, commercial, new construction, or reconstruction, give Geaux Plumbing a call at 907-6282 and get scheduled fast.
Geaux Plumbing, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. But you do a great job. You have a huge presence. 6,000 something people on Facebook like your page.
We're excited.
Pretty awesome, huh?
We're trying to grow by the day.
Yeah. I mean, that's when people follow your page, it means there's an interest. And so you're doing something right. So very good job there. So in addition to owning a very successful boutique, you also have 2 sons.
We do.
How do y'all balance all that? You're business owners.
Teamwork.
A lot of it, huh?
Yeah, we joke all the time. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Ooh, I like that. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's going to be the title of this podcast.
There we go.
I love that. Yes, it really does. And, I'm sure it's a lot of, can you pick up the kids? Can you do this? Can you run, get the prescription or whatever? And so,
It is.
yeah. So, and it's very important to any type of business is that teamwork and all those things, but you make it work, and that's a great thing. Now, okay, so you love clothes, and you love it that she loves clothes, and you support her, but y'all got to have some hobbies outside of that, right? So Kyle, what do you do for fun?
Fishing.
Fishing.
Most of the time.
Love to fish.
Yeah, we got a camp down south. And,
Yeah.
the boys-
Saltwater or freshwater?
Saltwater.
Oh, saltwater. Okay.
And my oldest little boy asks me every week,
Yeah.
if I pick him up from school, Daddy, can we go to camp this weekend? Hey, can we go to camp? Can we go to camp? So we
Chip
also
off the old block.
Yeah, we also have a hunting camp, but that just came to an end. So
Yeah.
be fishing coming up soon. But yeah, we like to do that.
Fantastic. Specs and stuff like
Yep,
that
specs
typically.
and-
Love it. Love it.
Redfish and specks.
I got a friend that's got a camp in Leeville, and he's out there every weekend.
That's where we're at, right
Yeah.
before that.
Okay, fantastic. How about you?
I stay busy. I
Yeah.
do love to fish with them, but he's nodding. I'm pretty good at keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing something with the boutique or figuring out how to grow the boutique or changing something in the boutique, I am changing something in the house or redoing the flower beds or redecorating something in another room or shopping or going out with my girlfriends
Yeah.
I have no problems staying busy.
One of the other things that we do on this show is we do fun facts.
Oh, boy.
So fun facts are fun, and Casey loves this part of the show. She can't wait for it every week. So it also helps me to kind of learn more about your business because I really do enjoy learning.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed learning about what you do. And so I dug deep into it, found some fun facts, and maybe you'll find some of these interesting or all about fashion.
Okay.
So up until 1853, they actually did not use human models for fashion.
Mm-hmm.
They used dolls, little dolls. It was like bad to use, they didn't want females modeling stuff. It was considered bad. So I found that interesting that they had little like Barbie dolls, and they would dress them in the actual clothes you would buy. That would be the mannequins of that time. So interesting there. During the 19th century, women only wore black when they were mourning their husband.
Oh.
Otherwise, they were considered evil if you wore black. Yes. So that was a pretty crazy fashion trend. Now, believe it or not, they had to wear black and only black for 2 years after their husband's death. Yeah. Imagine that. Men actually started the high heel craze. Did you know that?
I did not know
Yes,
that.
because believe it or not, high heels provided extra stability when you were riding horses. So men actually started the high heel craze, and women thought it was cool. And this looks pretty. And at some point, men were like, "Wait a minute, we're doing away with the high heels," and so that's what they did. Princess Diana, in the 1981 wedding, had a beautiful train that went behind her wedding dress. That train was actually 25 feet long. That's a long train. Yeah. So a lot of people were curious about that. Women's fashion changed with the invention of cars, where skirts in the 1900s are made shorter to allow women to step into automobiles easily. So skirts were actually short so that they could get into the automobiles without struggling. So that's where that trend came from originally. T-shirt, you're learning all kinds of stuff today, aren't you?
I am.
T-shirts are the most popular clothing item with over 2 billion a year being produced. I think that's more for promotion though. Although T-shirts can look good, you know, girls are tying them up with the knots and all that kind of thing.
Graphic tees are huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Before World War II, it was not acceptable for women to wear shorts in public. Man, they were hating on them before then.
Wouldn't make it these days.
No, they would not. They weren't in the South, I don't think. Fashion designer of all time, who would you say?
That one's tough.
Take a guess.
Dang.
I don't know.
I mean, I know who I would pick.
Who would you pick?
Oh, I would always say Chanel, but I know that's not right.
Actually, that's right.
Is it?
Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel. Okay.
Number one of all time. So you do know your stuff.
Dang.
And just a little interesting, number 10 was Ralph Lauren. And number 5 was Armani.
Armani.
So that was a couple of other ones, but you were correct. William Waldrop of TWFG Insurance in Denham Springs can service all of your insurance needs. Offering auto, life, health, and commercial insurance, William Waldrop of TWFG Insurance is a proud supporter of Local Leaders, the podcast. Well, we are glad we had you on today. Believe it or not, we've been going 40 minutes. It seems like 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
So first thing I want to do is I want you to tell everybody where you're at in Denham Springs.
We are down Highway 16. If you're familiar with the Watson area, if you know where Oak Point is, kind of keep coming through that red light. We are right next to Day's Smokehouse.
Okay.
In the same shopping center with Salon de Rev.
Excellent, excellent. So everybody, that's where you're located now on Facebook and all that. Where can they find you?
They can find us under our username on JM Boutique. And then we are also on Instagram. Shop JM Boutique. Yes.
Shop JM Boutique. Check all of those out. What are your hours, store hours?
10 to 6, Monday through Saturday. We are only closed on Sundays.
Only closed on Sundays. So there you go. Closed on Sundays, but every other day you come in and get all the clothes you want except men's clothes.
Except men's clothes.
For now.
For now. We're going to have to talk to Kyle about that.
That's it. That's it.
Start a Mr. JM line.
Yeah.
That's it. So did y'all have fun today?
We had so much fun.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll have you back sometime maybe when the fashions, go back to the summer styles and the winter, all that sort of stuff. We can have you in and you can kind of catch everybody up and bring a couple items or something we can show people. So I do want to thank Casey McMurray for her assistance with everything we do. She's behind the camera and she is invaluable to me. So she's my staff. I would like to thank my 2 guests for today, Kyle and Megan Goudeau of JM Boutique, and all you viewers and listeners for your support. Please follow me on all my social media and spread the word. I want to thank all my local business sponsors, including Premier Credit, Trisha Johnston Realtor, BJ Pawn, SR Enterprise Painting, Tiffany Seacard of Homekey Mortgage, Buddy's Barbecue, Black Sheep Creative, Geaux Plumbing, iTrade Exchange, Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, Alisa Verret Interiors and Custom Workroom and Sporting Center. If you would like to reach out or sponsor Local Leaders of the podcast, call Casey McMurray or email her at casey@localleadersthepodcast.com. Until next time, I am Jim Chapman reminding you, love your community, support local business, and keep leading. Thanks. Black Sheep Creative understands the importance of digital marketing and your return on your investment. It's their aim to provide professional web and graphic design services at a price point that smaller businesses and startups can afford. Get in touch with them on the web at blacksheepcreative.com. Stephanie Berthelot and the crew at SR Enterprise can handle it all, from sheetrock to texture to paint. Give Stephanie a call at 504-432-9284. SR Enterprise, where they spread the paint and you spread the word. Dane Arnold with iTrade Exchange has been enabling small business in the Livingston Parish area to save cash through his network of over 300 participating Livingston Parish businesses. Saving cash by trading services with other exchange members is what iTrade Exchange is all about. For more information, contact Dane Arnold at 225-205-3640 or visit iTradeExchange.biz.